I want to call to order the meeting of the Public Safety Committee for Rutherford County for Monday, July 28th, 2025. At this time, we'll have the approval of our minutes. I think all of you have had the opportunity to read those minutes. Do we have a motion for its approval?
So moved.
So moved. Do I have a second? Have a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The minutes have been approved. Do we have any public comments? No public comments. On your agenda, you do not have this particular item, but due to the fact that Commissioner Rather stepped down at our last commission meeting and has resigned, we don't have a vice chairman, and that's why I did the motion tonight as far as our minutes are concerned. So we are needing to elect a vice chairman to close out a period of time until we do committee assignments come September. So at this time, we're going to have an election for our vice chairman, and I'll accept nominations for vice chairman.
I nominate Commissioner McMurray.
Romel McMurray has been nominated. Anyone else? Have a second there. Do I have a motion that nomination cease? Elect Mr. McMurray by acclamation.
Second.
Okay, we have it right here. All those in favor? Your microphone's not working.
Now it is. Okay. Had to wait my 5 seconds.
Okay, we've had a motion over here in second that we elect him, nomination cease. We elect Mr. McMurray by acclamation. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? So Romel McMurray will be our vice chairman. Moving now into item 3. I guess I could have asked you if you want to make a acceptance speech or something this time. Item 3, discuss and adopt an EMS station. And we'll ask those groups to come
Mr.
forward
Chairman?
at this time. No.
Sorry, I do have a quick question. Before we move on, can you just explain real quick why, for those who may be watching, why we did this tonight instead of waiting a month or so to elect the vice chair? Because I've had that question.
The vice chair?
Yes, sir.
It's because the committee is basically left without a vice chairman, and you would be subject that, say, the August meeting, I'm not here, then someone would have to fill this seat at that time. And by selecting a vice chairman now, somebody can fill this seat, as well as you'll have a duty of taking care of the minutes, making sure that is taken care of, and any other assignments that are responsible by the vice chairman. And then come September, when we have a new appointment of all committees, then another vice chairman and chairman will be selected at that time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, discussion and adoption of the EMS station. Who is I think the mayor, and do you want Director Gaither to come with you? You got it to yourself?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to ask if it's okay for Bart Klein with KSA and Brian Gaither to come up. As the committee knows, that we've got a project out on Weekly Lane that is both a forensic center, which has already been approved, and they're already pushing dirt out there. Thank you very much for that. But we also, part of that project is a new EMS station and expansion of parking for Ms. Kroll, Lisa Kroll, for the clerk's office. And so one of the things that we have left to do is to bring the kind of the architectural concept before this committee, so this body can release Mr. Klein for doing the architectural and engineering drawings, so that we can then turn that around and get the bids so we can begin construction on that. So what I'd like to do, Mr. Chairman, is have Bart Klein come forward and explain the need with Brian Gaither about what we're trying to put together in the form of an EMS station out on Weekly Lane. If that's all right for you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bart, Brian, why don't y'all?
Are we not tag teaming?
I don't know about that, but Bart Klein with Klein Sweeney Associates. As you guys know, I don't know if this points, it does, but to the right of this plan, the clouded area is where the future EMS station is going. So where we are right now is we're getting ready to start the design process. We'll work with Brian's team and Adam Dodd's team to come up with a plan that meets the needs for the facility. There was a napkin sketch of a facility that was built over by MTSU in the, I would say, late 60s, 70s era. Let's see here. And this facility is roughly 2,700 square feet. That was one facility we looked at. We also know we built the last freestanding EMS station about 7 to 8 years ago, which is this facility for you guys. And then obviously, you know, the recent public health and safety buildings, which are the EMS and fire. So I think before we move on with looking at some adaptation to this plan at MTSU, which has 4 bedrooms, a kitchen, a bathroom, an ambulance bay for 2. This also is an essential facility. So for essential facilities, once you get to the 2012 International Building Code and from now on, has to also be a shelter-proof, resistant facility for tornadoes and life safety events. So the primary structural frame of this facility will be able to meet those conditions. So really today is, before we jumpstart, we wanted to bring it in front of this body and make sure they didn't want to make any revisions, or is there something they would like to see done at this facility that may have been done at previous facilities throughout the county. And so really this is a back and forth, not very formal conversation, but to get the ball rolling. So I guess I'd go there with questions. So first, this is the facility over off by MTSU. Some of you may be familiar with this facility. This obviously is the new public health and safety buildings. And this is another facility we did some time back. I can't remember where it's located. It's on Lytle Street. On Lytle Street. Burkett Street. So this one was built, and this is what we've been building, and we're looking to build some kind of adaptation to this. Right now we got a draft number from a contractor based off of a napkin sketch. Obviously when we get done with design and get further into it, we'll come up with more realistic numbers of where it actually sits. Turn it over to you guys for any questions. Unless you want to talk.
Commissioner James.
Hello? It's the only second time to use this one. I'm wondering if it would not benefit us to have pull-through bays on this one, straight through on both sides. So as we are obviously going to grow and expand some, to go to butt them up to each other, similar to the previous screen. So.
Yes, we can do that. We actually have, so if we look at this site plan, you see the hatched road in between the 2 clouds. That is a drive into the back of forensics, so we could accommodate that.
Will that affect the future growth area, the future addition of the forensic center, if that's what I'm reading correctly from here?
No, it won't. And I don't think I can get a pointer to work on this, but I can kind of, yeah, I can't quite know, but we can take care of it. So we can expand south or north on plan where the future EMS is and enter from the back. You see that? We'll just have to locate our entry fence south. And honestly, where we show future building, so the site number includes the site work for the EMS. So we can make a change of flipping that over and adjusting that as long as we just start, thinking about it now.
Could I add? So when we were talking about this particular facility with Brian and Adam Dodd, one of the considerations was the doors for the vehicles. When they go up and down a lot, that is an incredible amount of maintenance. And I would like for Brian to talk about this, but what we don't need is an inoperable door. And so when you have 4 doors, 2 sets of doors for 2 bays, you're significantly and potentially increasing the ongoing maintenance cost. And so I think one of the reasons why we initially wanted the driver, the ambulances to back in is because that doesn't have an effect on their response time. It's more of a convenience than anything else, but it would be somewhat of a significant savings in ongoing costs, those doors going up and down. Brian, do you want to add to that for a minute?
And the majority of our stations do not have the drive-through. We back into all of them except for the one that's on Burton Street and the public health and safety. But one thing that it would do with one of those drawings, if we made it drive-through, because we took a existing building and added 12 foot, we moved the mechanical room from inside the building out into the bay and a little area for a washer and dryer. So if we did have drive-throughs, we would lose those things. And we spend an incredible amount of money on maintenance and garage doors.
My microphones are dead. What I'm asking, not necessarily drive through, even though I know that's the terminology I use, I think the idea of backing them in together, so as we grow, we don't have to expand multiple more bays or rooms. We already have that preset in place, ready to go. So I understand on the doors concept, but I'm thinking 5, 10 years down the road, well, we might have to break out that wall to put a door in.
I understand.
And that idea, or at least expand the bay to where we have that option to open up that wall to put the door without having to further expand at that moment.
We will definitely look at it. So you're talking about on the future expansion, basically make it a little deeper so you can pull in from both sides and store, and it'd be a way to expand it in the future.
So essentially on that site, we could potentially have 4 ambulances on site and go at all at the same time if necessary. Just to prep for 10, 15 years down the road versus that little bit right now.
I say we study it from both points. Either it's an expansion this way or expansion this way to see what depth we are allowed. Does that work?
Question,
Okay?
and I have to back all the way to the beginning because I am not clear on what this committee is being charged with. What is the expectation? What are we supposed to be doing here?
Well, we're just here to say we're getting ready to start design with Brian's group and Adam Dodd's group on the design for the new ambulance bay. So far, the discussion today has been, hey, we're going to do something like this, and then we want to make sure that this body is blessing that as we proceed forward, not saying, hey, well, we want this in our area versus that in other areas. So the last facilities that we built were a little different. So we're building a different facility than what we've been building for the combined fire and EMS.
And you want comments on the design?
We want,
or questions?
well, there's no design here. It's really just a program. So right now we're talking about a 2-bay, 4-bedroom, living room, and support space. So for instance, if this body said, hey, I want a community, and I'm not saying do this, hey, I want a community shelter like the other health and public health and safety facilities have, then we know that going into it, and we can address that during the design process.
I
So it's
understand.
really looking for overarching things that this group may see needs to be added or subtracted as we move forward.
I understand. Thank
Other questions? Mr. Chairman.
These things weren't working correctly this morning, and I'm not sure they're working tonight either, but this design is what we've been talking about all along, the one that mirrors MTSU, maybe with the, making it a little bit larger, maybe. And I think that's perfect. it might be good, and you probably have already done this, Mayor, but to kind of coordinate that with Smyrna to see if they want to make this an emergency shelter and even participate in the building of that a little bit if they do want to make it an emergency shelter.
So, yeah, let me address that. I know that in the conversations we've had with Smyrna, I know they have a very, kind of go off on a tangent for just a little bit, but it's relevant. They've got a very old existing fire station on the old Seward Air Force Base that they're wanting to move and rebuild. And so we're already speaking with them about when they move that fire station onto the base, they want to partner with us to put an EMS station in there as well, a lot like our public safety building. So the answer to your question, Mr. Chairman, is yes, we are having those conversations. They're very, very aware and quite excited about this facility. And so while they won't be participating in the cost directly, I can tell you they have been very, very cooperative with the county on removing some fees and those kind of things that would have had an impact financially on this entire project, not just the forensic center, but this EMS station as well.
That's a perfect answer, and working with any city, whether it's Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, or even Eagleville, it's a good thing. And,
it is.
And we've seen that trend pick up recently over the last couple of years.
The relationship is very, very good. It's very, very cooperative. And Smyrna in particular, I mean, we saw this with the expansion of Smyrna High School, how they were the last to get started, yet the first to complete. And that theme is continuing in Smyrna. And I hope the other municipalities are listening. But we all have a very good relationship, and that's just an example of it. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Comment. I would like to see the community safe room that's done in other places.
So we're going to kind of go conversational up here, Commissioner, if that's okay. Bart, is there, when you put this drawing together, is there a way that we can have, to Commissioner Oliver's question, is there a way where you scope this out and then you go to add a safe room? I think, is that what you're talking about, Commissioner Oliver?
Yes.
Like a tornado safe room or
Yes.
something like that? If we were to add that, what would that do to the cost? Is there a way for you to build those options in so that we could say the approximate cost, without going to bid? I want to say these would be approximate costs, but the approximate cost to add a safe room to the project would be X, so we could at least have that informed. Is there a way to do that?
There is, and we had to do this same study for the public health and safety buildings. They're a much larger building, but so for instance, they're 11 to 12,000 square feet. Well, this is a 2,700 square feet. So to get a community room that will fit, do you remember, Larry, how many people we can put in those rooms? 200. 200. That's about $600,000, $700,000. So if you do something similar in size, we would have to take kind of our living and kitchen area and make it big enough to take in, what would be considered more than just the people staying in that facility. Mm-hmm. So by code, we have to put a shelter, no matter what, in the facility to protect the employees. And by code, it's like a 10 by 10. Okay. So if we take it to the community, I would go ahead and expect a $500,000 increase at minimum for the cost. So the pencil sketch on this before was somewhere around $1.4 million before we knew it had to be an essential facility. So let's say we're 1.6, then all of a sudden that adds, you're up in the $2 million range. So is that a benefit for the community that we're spending the money on? That's for you guys to state. But I would start there, somewhere around $500,000. And we can design that option into it. And then when we bid it, we can have that as a alternate that's bid, and then you're provided that actual price by the contractor. And if the funds are there, we can accept it, and you'll know to a T, hey, it's $333,000, opposed to my,
Okay.
general.
So this is the design you're working with, basically.
Basically, let's see.
Not I'm looking at other ones here, so, okay.
Yeah, so for instance, if you look at This, see where it says tornado safe room in gray right there? That's the safe room for 200 employees, residents of the area in the public health and safety building. So if it gives you an idea of scale, it's about the size, half the size of your ambulance bay.
Yeah, and one other thing, and back to your original question about what we were asking this committee to be tasked to do, very specifically, we are coming to you with this conceptual design and saying, is this the appropriate start place for the new EMS station on Wakeley Lane? Not that this is going to be the end, but this is where I'm saying we're looking to begin design and engineering. This is our start place. And then Commissioner Oliver, you're saying, well, I like this start place, but I'd like to know also what it would take to add a tornado safety room. Is there any way to give us the option of assessing that need and the cost as he goes forward to design and engineer this? And so that's what we're trying to establish tonight, so the mayor's office can go ahead and tell Bart, go ahead and get started on the design work, and we're looking for you to give us input on what you would like to see in this facility in the way of options or requirements. That's the point for tonight.
Okay, and so to follow up on what you said regarding the old building that Smyrna's looking at, what are they looking at doing with that that's at the airport?
I don't know what they are going to do. They've got about a 50, 60-year-old fire hall that's on the old base.
Right.
That's just, it's wore out, and they're wanting to build a new fire hall on base. And so the mayor contacted me and said, hey, when we do that in the next 2 or 3 years, would you be willing to put an EMS station in there? And our answer is always yes on something like that. And so that isn't a yes, but yes, we want to have those conversations, if that makes sense. Obviously, when we get numbers and scope, we'll come back to this body for further discussion and a final decision. But yes, that was to answer Chairman Phillips' question. Those conversations are ongoing.
Mr. Mayor, if you could clarify something for me on that last comment, because that came through what I was curious on, because during this process, when the first EMS station discussions began, I inquired about sharing with the municipalities their fire halls or so on to put a station at, and I was told that no, that wasn't an option for multiple reasons, mostly because their fire halls are not meant to share the space and so on. But now that option looks like it's a real possibility in the near future, and it's just right down the street from this facility, what would be the motivation to continue to spend this money when that one's coming online?
Great question. The motivation is when the Guard moves to the air base, we're going to have to be required, part of the infrastructure requirements for the county is to meet the specific needs of that airport. It's the largest general aviation airport in the state. It's the 4th most busiest airport in the state, and as such, it has specific requirements that need to be addressed. And so the city of Smyrna is addressing those, my understanding, by putting in a new fire hall, and so in so doing, the Guard would like us to be a part of that solution with EMS rapid response. That's more of a unicorn than anything else, but I have no objections to having partnerships like Chairman Phillips referenced earlier with any of our municipalities when it comes to sharing responsibilities for our first responders.
That's to service that compound, not the community. That's my understanding. Yeah, it's just to service the airbase.
Commissioner,
Primarily.
to be honest with you, we can't afford to wait 3 years to get some relief in that end of the county. I mean, just today, a couple hours ago, there was 4 of the Murfreesboro trucks that were in Smyrna making calls. We have to have some relief on that end of the county.
That's what I'm saying about the expanding 4 bays to allow the growth to occur that we're going to have. But now that if the other one is just right down the street, it has the potential. I'd love having the agreements with the municipalities and going with that. It saves us a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. We can put the building further out into the county to really get better broadband. And that's what I'm wondering is, now here, that's just for the airport itself.
Primarily, not exclusively, primarily. I don't want to mischaracterize it.
proposal for the airport could also better service the citizens of Laverne as well. It would add an additional layer more closer to that end of the county, because Laverne is getting busier and busier and busier as well. So it would cover more than just the airport. It would give
Yes.
Laverne a lot of relief.
And again, when in property management, a couple of months ago, we gave a list of priorities for what we were saying as far as infrastructure throughout the county. And one of the things that was high on that list is after Weekly Lane, which is we're in dire need of. There's no two ways about it. But then the next location is in Laverne on the other side of Waldron Road across from I-24. That is the next area. And so that's real important. So I fully expect in 18 or 24 months for me to come back before this body and say, okay, now that we got this one done, the next one is in Laverne off Waldron Road exit. So that's from property management, but that's in keeping with what we've outlined as it relates to satisfying the growth in this county.
And we can bring back an expansion plan and give to the mayor's office to show how we can expand over the years this station to address that need. I think we can do that.
Finally, what we're trying to settle on tonight is hopefully a blueprint for Laverne at Waldron Road. We want to kind of quit reinventing the wheel when it comes to these things. So your careful consideration about what this needs to look like, how it can service our community is really important, because we're trying to create a blueprint for what these generally look like as we populate them around the county, like our public safety buildings.
Anyone else? So, Mayor, you're asking from this committee right there to give you the go-ahead and start working on this?
I would.
Is the architectural fees in this 1.4 million, or?
They are.
You know, when we did public health and safety, there were, I think you come with a concept plan, and then we had a committee that sat around and heed and hawed about what should be there and what shouldn't be there and all that sort of thing. So do you have that same type plan of what you want to?
It'll be with your staff and with
Those who are going to use it.
Those are going. We're going
That's
to
what
design
we,
it. We're going to
that's
design
what
it.
we did with the public health and safety. But those who actually use it
Yes.
were on that committee, and that's
Yes.
what makes a difference.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because I know they were getting ready to put white walls in the bay for firefighters,
Correct.
and we had to change all those sort of things. But,
Correct.
okay.
Mr. Chairman, all my microphones are dead, so forgive me.
You want these microphones in the
Take that down to YouTube.
I see you're on your fourth or fifth one. So,
It's cursed.
Thank you for that.
Excellent.
Okay, I'd like to move that we send with our comments this request and concept to property management for further discussion and any additions they might think through, because they have more experience with some of the breakdowns of the buildings than we have. We have the general idea, and they can break down a little bit more detail that we might be missing or overlooking.
are you sending that with a positive?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion? You second what he says, okay. Further discussion?
Is that the direction that you wanted this committee to do, sending it to Public Works, property management?
Said property management.
Right, is that the direction?
Property management would be,
That, Ms. Oliver, Commissioner Oliver, property management meets on Thursday, so that doesn't hold anything up. I know that what we're trying to do,
you
let's
said
go
you
to
wanted
the
to
end
get
of the
started
calendar.
on
Yeah, let's
something.
go to the end of the calendar. It's going to take, Bart, 3 to 6 months to design. It's going to take us another 3 months to put it out to bid. We really want this to come online on or before the Forensic Center. So while I'm not rushing you, I promise you I'm not doing that. You know, this is a critical piece in Smyrna for saving lives. And so what we were just trying to get this body, because it's the Public Safety Committee, involved in looking at the design and getting your input. If you want to send it to property management, you can, but we're just looking from this body to say, yeah, Mr. Klein, go ahead and start the design, and then we can bring that back for periodic review as he goes through that design process. This won't be the last time we come here with a presentation. I can imagine maybe at least 2 more times. And so we want to get the ball rolling, if that's all.
Okay.
That's the point.
Yeah, we haven't designed anything yet.
Okay,
We're trying to get you guys to let us go.
all right. And so my colleague made the motion to forward this with positive recommendation and comments to property management.
To property management, which will keep in timeline to get it to the full commission in time for you to get to.
So, and the chairman will know this, you can send it to the full commission without objection from the mayor, but because this is architectural and engineering design, the statute is pretty clear that and because he's a previous contractor, we can just do it. What we're saying is we're not taking that path. We're just trying to get y'all's input in this before we pull the trigger. And so that's the point of tonight. Again, we're glad to send it to property management. You know, wise is the man that seeks the counsel of many, and we sure don't mind as long as we don't dither too long. But however you want to do it, we're fine with.
We have a motion. Please call the roll.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner James. Yes. Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Rachel, could you add that discussion to the property management agenda for Thursday night?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've noticed that Jonathan Beverly is not here this evening, and he's at home with some things he's having to take care of. And so that's why he's not here tonight. He's dealing with the family tonight, with the children. So I totally understand what he's dealing with right there. So I text him right here and ask if he's watching, and I said, I understand what you're dealing with a new one there. All right, we will now move into item 4, I believe is probation report. Ms. Kelly Haley, good evening.
All right. Good evening. I've got my report for June for probation. As you can see at the top, we closed out for the month of June a total of 243 cases, which client-wise equaled 195 clients. At the end of the month, we were actively supervising 1,392 clients. The next section has our various classes and programs that we offer in-house. Throughout the month, we had 67 actively enrolled in classes, 12 that successfully completed during the month, and 2 that were discharged unsuccessfully. Then we have assessments that were completed by some of our treatment team in-house, 35 drug and alcohol assessments and 6 mental health assessments. In the 10 Rocks Court, in general sessions, we have currently 10 participants with 3 referrals pending a future court date. With our Olive Branch closet, we received 2 donations and also had 2 clients that we assisted during the month. On the very bottom of the report, our financials for the month of June, we sent $22,165 to the clerks to be added to payment agreements. That amount for June brought our fiscal year in total to $206,504.50. And then you have the amount that we sent that the clients do not currently have a payment plan, so we send it, it just can't be added yet. is $10,282, which brought the year-end fiscal total for that category to $86,315.50. And that would be my report for June.
Commissioners, you heard the report. Any questions or comments?
Yes, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Are there any, are you in need of specific donations going into the later part of summer and early fall?
We always are in need of things that are easy for our clients who may not have stable housing to eat. Snack type items that they can grab and go. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Pop-top items that can be eaten, like something like tuna. You know, if they don't have access to a can opener, the ones that have the pop-tops are always kind of a hot commodity. As far as like a specific item right now, not really, but any of that type of stuff is always needed because it goes off of our shelves pretty quickly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve. I have to remember the 5 seconds.
All right, have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All those in favor of the motion to approve? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Your report has been approved.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Item 5, Correctional Work Center. Good evening, Mr. Cope.
Good evening. First thing you will notice is that our board did not meet in July, which is pretty typical. On to the next page, our work release program, still going great. I've tasked our coordinator to get out and try to find some additional companies to work with, and he has come back to me with 3 new ones that we may be working with pretty soon. Just got to work out the details of that. That program works great. Our yearly activity report, our population has increased a little bit. We're trying to take as many as we possibly can to kind of lighten that load over at the sheriff's office. I think our population is, I think we're about 30 or so higher than we were last month. So next is the total trash collected on county and state routes. Are as follows: county roads collected 10,837 pounds, and then on state routes we collected 326 bags. Next is the monthly worker report. If you'll see there, a total combined savings of $64,046 using offender labor in the community. Our CQI medical stats are next. Nothing really out of the ordinary there. And just like to take a second to mention and congratulate our accreditation manager, Lieutenant Chad Duggan. We recently had Tennessee Corrections Institute invited them out to our facility to do a mock audit in preparation for our upcoming reaccreditation, and we scored 100% on that with no deficiencies. And that certification is for local correctional facilities meeting specific standards related to offender programming and facility operations. So just like to take a second to congratulate Lieutenant Duggan on that. He's who puts all those files together and works really hard to do that in preparation for our audits. And that is my report.
Commissioners, you've heard the report. Questions?
Question. When I was looking at your stats, I guess CQR stats, I was just kind of looking, just perusing it today. When you talk about medications administered, what does that number represent?
That represents every medication that every offender receives throughout the day.
So it represents the number of pills or?
Yes.
Number of doses?
Number of doses.
No, number of doses. Okay, that's what I was curious about. All right, thank you. Oh, sorry, I did have another question. As far as how their health care is funded, I guess, will you be impacted by Medicaid or Medicare cuts?
No, if an offender is in our care, that becomes our responsibility.
So they don't have?
So it doesn't.
Their own
have anything to
insurance
do with
doesn't count?
insurance.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? The report has been approved.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Juvenile detention. Ms. Lynn Duke. Good evening.
In front of you, you have our information for the month of June, starting with our board minutes. We have our yearly activity report for June, and then our totals and averages for the year. The information regarding who was released and who was booked in, as well as our STD stats. Overall, for the year, we had almost a 7% positivity rate. And we had over 100 young people that were treated that may not have had that treatment had they not realized that they had an issue. And then you will also have our programming information and our educational report. And I will answer any questions that I can that you may have.
Anyone have any questions? Ms. Duke? Or a motion for approval?
Question. What was that you just referred to? Was that the STD stats?
Yes, ma'am.
And what you reported looks a little different than what I'm seeing on here, so I guess I just need some clarity.
On the STD report?
STD stats for June. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes, so at the bottom on that form, it has the fiscal year 24-25, and
You were speaking for the year.
the most updated information would be June, but then because that's when our fiscal year wraps, we totaled it up.
For the year, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I was looking at the month, but I was hearing you say something different, so thank you.
Anyone else?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Report has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Emergency Services, Public Safety Report. Director Chris Clark. Good evening.
Evening. Sounds different now if you got new mics. So, hopefully in front of you, you have the June the 1st to June 30th, 2025 Emergency Management Report. Some of the key points that I'd like to point out is that in the month of June, we did assist with the Smyrna Air Show along with the Sheriff's Department, EMS, great collaboration and support by all the agencies. Went off without a hitch, large crowd, and we just appreciate everybody's partnership and working together. We've also, right prior to July the 4th, in the month of June, we worked with assist writing incident action plans for large firework events. And everybody did a great job in putting these plans together. So one of the things that we have really increased those large events and the security and response to those large events just due to the society that's across the nation. So that's some of the things. Keep in mind that in here soon, before we meet again, school starts back. Been in a couple meetings with the school systems, and they're preparing for start the school. So, also with our communication center, we're fully staffed. I'd like to welcome a couple of new part-timers to the team, and they took in 4,358 calls in the month of June. It's a pretty standard number. And so we're proud of them, and they continue to work hard to make sure that all of our units get on the scene and they're taken care of. That's my report.
Commissioners, you've heard the report. Questions?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve. Have a second.
Second.
Have a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? It has been approved. I believe you've got a memorandum of understanding and a mitigation application.
Yes, and then last but not least, another application for a grant. But I'll try to get in at 4:30 today. So, the first thing is a memorandum of understanding to relocate our emergency operations center to the Ag Lane facility in the event that our building becomes unfunctionable or impacted. This agreement will only occur, usually this is in the event of a disaster or things like that. I've spoken with Mr. Anthony Tuggle. He agrees with this contract. What we have this in place is so that everybody knows what's going to happen in the event that a disaster or our emergency operations center becomes incapacitated. I encourage all of our departments to do the same and have those agreements in place so that when I'm not here, everybody else knows that those contracts are in place. We're requesting for the mayor to sign this MOU.
Any questions?
All right, I got one working for a second. Yeah, I've read through this. It looks pretty good to me, really structured. So if there's no additional questions, I'm just going to move to approve this.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A second.
I was asking, can I get a moment? Because I was trying to read it. I do have a question. I understand these are both, I guess, county agencies, county buildings, et cetera. So there's no money or anything or costs associated with this, is there?
In the event this happens, this is what we're going to do. And here's our intent.
Okay. We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It has been approved.
Thirdly, I have a mitigation grant, a sizable mitigation grant, due to the uneventful disaster in Helene. The federal government has released a mitigation opportunity. Our opportunity, we're seeking for a large portable generator that could travel around, and we're going to ask him to put switches for those generators for our Office of Technology and our Health Department and our PAWS, so that in the event one of those buildings, instead of making a fixed generator for those facilities, we would have a portable that we could go to either one of those three places and have those switches in place, so all we have to do is plug it up and ready to go. Also, we're requesting BDAs, which are kind of like repeaters within the facilities of the Sheriff's Department and then the Judicial Center, Juvenile Detention Center. That will help our public safety radios transmit easier and better without any dead spots. Also, these generators, we're asking to put a generator at our Milton Tower, which it needs it desperately. The Sheriff's Department CID building, and also the narcotics office for the Sheriff's Department. And then last but not least, an EMS generator at 910 Old Salem Highway, which is the main EMS station. So comes out to a total of $1,045,686.80. So there is a match of 75% from the federal government, 12.5% from the state, and we would owe 12.5% would be our share, which is a total of $130,710.85. This is a request to apply.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. Please call the roll. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Commissioner James? Yes. Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes.
Last but not least, and I try to get this in at the last minute, this grant has given us fits over the years just due to how quick it runs and the date that it comes out is for us to apply. Last year, I had to come back to you and run it through the chairman and also the budget committee chair to get this thing going. We met a deadline. It was last minute deadline, but I think we got it in. So what this is our hazardous material emergency preparedness grant. As you best remember, we sent individuals from each fire department to attend Baltimore conference this last August. The grant is presented to us again. We're requesting, instead of sending these individuals to Baltimore for a conference, we're requesting 2 basic hazmat IQ, and I'll explain that here in just a second, and 2 advanced hazmat IQ classes. Each class will hold 30 students, so a total of 60 in the basic and 60 in the advanced for all of our emergency hazmat technicians. Hazmat IQ basically simplifies our hazardous material response in a way that they can understand it. It's about the periodic table, how it breaks it down in solids, liquids, and vapors. We run this off of a periodic table. We will carry that with us. Anything above the line and anything below the line, it's all defined, what would be the PPE that they would wear, other things, signs and symptoms that the individuals would have if they're exposed to these chemicals or bases or solids or liquids. So each class, for 2 classes of each, is $24,300. We're also requesting another class to follow that will be $7,990. And this is a full-scale exercise of everything that they learned during those advanced and basic classes prior. The total is $32,290. The federal share is $25,832, which is an 80%. Our 20% would be $6,458. So we would owe $6,458. I do know this is quick. It comes in this grant has given us fit over the years, is when it comes in and when it's due. My request is to apply, and once it is received, to accept. due to the quick turnarounds.
You've heard the request.
How many have you want to apply for?
60.
60 each way, okay.
60 people in these classes.
Brings the total to,
What, $100 a person that we'll pay for?
Do you have a mic that's?
Which one?
You've got all of them on the.
Check. I think he's asking,
Is it 6,400 a person or 6,400 total?
Total.
Your cost total would be $6,400.
Okay, that's where I had it.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
So your intent is to apply for this grant in order to train the entire staff as opposed to sending a few to a conference?
Correct.
Basically, right?
Yes, we're going to get more bang for our buck.
Got you. Motion to approve?
second.
Motion to approve. Second. Further discussion?
Just,
We got
Mr. Chairman, I just want to make sure.
money in this, haven't we? So we need to go for a roll call vote.
Chairman, I just wanted to clarify that motion. That is to approve the application and approve funds when the application comes in. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Please call.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sereno,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Motion passes.
passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Mr. Gaither, Emergency Medical Service. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before you is our June report. We had a total of 3,558 calls, a response time of 7 minutes and 10 seconds, 126 DOAs, and 19 of those were sent for an autopsy. We collected $1,148,678. The next page is some in-services and training and special events that we had for the month. The convalescent division did 280 calls, collected $108,271. The next few pages is the more detailed report. 153 times this month that a call was made in the north end of the county that wasn't one of those north end trucks. Some thank you notes, and at the very back is an agreement with Trust Point for Transportation. This agreement has been worked on for months and months and months. Our legal would look at it, send it back to them. They would redline it, send it back. Our legal would. So this has gone through Mr. Hennessy and Nick Christensen.
Let's approve the report, and then we'll have a separate motion on this agreement. So do I have a motion to approve the report? Have a motion over here?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? We got a question over here.
Yes, I was going to ask a question relative to your funding and insurance write-offs and things of that nature. Is any of that Medicaid or Medicare?
It is. So that insurance write-off number is, it's a difficult number to explain because we bill X amount of dollars and we bill more than the Medicare allowable rate and the Medicaid allowable rate. So we already know that that's going to be paid at a reduced cost. But those charges are set the way they're charged for the commercial payers. And the commercial payers are about probably 19 or 20% of our payer mix. So that's why we charge those rates.
So then that would be, I guess, anticipated will be larger pending Medicaid and Medicare cuts?
Potentially. I've already attended a couple of meetings with the recent passage of the bill, and it could affect us. So our self-pays could go up, although TennCare doesn't pay a whole lot anyways. It's something's better than nothing. So those self-pay, private pays, they're somewhere in the 15 or 16% range. So they said expect those to maybe go up 5 or 10%.
Exactly. So it affects everyone, not just persons that receive Medicare or Medicaid. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It has been approved. Now I think we have your agreement.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So this agreement, like I said, has been back and forth, probably greater than 6 months. We have provided them service ever since we started the convalescent. And basically what this breaks down to is if we do a transport for them that they are responsible for, we will bill them the Medicare allowable rate and no more. And that's the agreement that we have with the majority of the facilities in town. So, but they needed it to be more formal.
Brian, what's the valuation we typically get from this service? And the reason I'm asking is if we're stretched pretty thin, and as you mentioned earlier, how you had everybody on the north end for several calls, should they not use, in this scenario, as we're stretched thin until we get beefed up, should they not use one of the outside ambulance services to?
And we potentially could. So I was part of when this service got off the ground in 2018. Like I was tasked with kind of getting it started. And basically the reason we were going to do it was to get a little extra revenue. So there was considerable opposition for many years on us doing this, but you know, there's plenty of volume to go around in this county. So that's the way we started. But what has come out of this, because we'll hire a basic EMT in the convalescent division. We do not have basic EMTs on the 911 division, but the experience that they gained from starting in here and then moving over to 911 is invaluable. And I would say that since 2018 when we started, that number of people that started there and moved to us is probably 40 or 50 employees, and it makes a world of difference. But if it's a disaster or whatever, could we use them? Absolutely. But there is only one paramedic that works in this division, and only one of those trucks is an ALS truck. And they kind of operate on a schedule. So they kind of know today what they're doing tomorrow. So that now, you know, we don't have that luxury on the 911s. When the phone rings, you got to send somebody. So they may not have anybody available to help.
But is it a net gain or net loss? You know, what's the valuation for what we get back from the cost? So as we figure out that, how far down is it to?
So this service does not cost us any money. It generates a profit, yes, sir. Those numbers have come down a little bit over the last couple of years. And I look at, because we still do all of the accounting, even though it's our fund, 118 is one fund, we still keep that separate. So their revenue is separate, their expenses are separate, and their payroll is separate in our books, in our office.
I'm just asking for that back and forth to see where we lie, because while we're stretched so thin until we can get you guys beefed up to where we really need to be with this growth rate.
And the majority of the convalescent division is staffed by part-time employees. I think we only have 10 full-time employees that are there, and they're open, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Anyone else? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Motion? And a second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Sereno,
Yes.
Commissioner James. Commissioner Oliver. Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And one last thing, I want to ask for permission to apply for a grant from the Christy Houston Foundation to purchase new cardiac monitors. Our current ones are somewhere in the 5 to 6 year age, and the lifespan on those are around 8. It's an expensive piece of equipment. It's a very important piece of equipment. So we want to ask we submitted a letter of intent to Christy Houston. They said they would take our request if we submitted. But now I'm going through the process of starting that process. So the cardiac monitors are going to be in the $1 million range, and kind of just what we've been talking, somewhere around a 48% would be their part, 52% our part. So 25. No. 1 million. 1 million total project for 25.
Oh, I'm just like,
Yeah, $1,029 to be exact, $350.
and 52% of that would
Be our
fall
part.
on you.
Then so that would be trading in our old monitors. So every year that we wait, we lose some percentage of what those are worth. So if we wait another year, it's going to cost us about an extra $123,000 of the total project.
Didn't we just do something about this, like just 2 months, 3 months ago? Yeah, was that just
The sheriff's office and the fire department got AEDs, but we did not.
And being so close to the budget cycle, should you factor this in for this year's budget, or is it going to be new?
Well, it would be, so it would be new. If we got the grant, obviously, we'd have to come back for permission to receive it, and kind of the discussions we had, that if we did get the grant, we would get it out of our end fund balance, the 52%. And if not, then it would reflect in our budget next year.
I'm hoping, okay. I was hoping it would work. And then the other thing is this all your cardiac monitors at once, or are we going to be able to stair step it into the process?
The request is to do them all at once, so we don't have different pieces of equipment on different trucks. The familiarity with this device is important.
What does the application process look like, and as far as time and all of that?
This grant cycle, we will know in September whether we got it or not.
So you're going to apply for it in August,
Yes, ma'am.
and you'll know in September?
Yes, ma'am. September
then-
or October. Do you remember when y'all got, September?
And then the funds would be available when? As soon as you're notified?
Yes.
Great, thanks.
And quick question, what do you do with the older ones?
So we would trade them in.
Trade them in? Okay.
And so basically they put a percentage of their worth for so many years. So for each year that, and I think it's like 11.8%. When we purchased those, they were around 25,000 a piece. So every year that they get older, you lose about 11.8% of its trade-in value. Plus, they're having a 5% increase in November.
I see the value of them. I see the need and necessity of it. I'm concerned about the 52% match, obviously, and concerned about the idea of putting them all at once so that when the lifespan of these come up again, we're in that same cycle of doing all versus, is there any way, and I respect your argument about trying to keep unified on the parts and equipment, but any way we can stagger these so we're not having to take a big hit every, what was the lifespan?
I mean, it can be done. From my opinion, it's not the best way to do it, especially with something that's, I mean, that cardiac monitor is their lifeline during an emergency.
And say again the lifespan of these machines?
So they tell you somewhere around the 9 year.
With
And
wear
this,
tear, you're looking more like 7.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion to approve and a second, I believe.
Second.
Further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Commissioner Sereno,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you. Oh,
Mr. Chairman, I believe the motion was to apply. If that application is accepted, then you come back before this committee for the approval.
Yes, sir.
New system is worse than the old system. That heat exhaustion, are you receiving multiple calls for people who are, I don't know, succumbing to the excessive amount of heat?
Those have gone up a little bit, obviously, in the last couple of weeks due to the weather. You know, it just kind of varies on, you know, if somebody is experiencing one of those events, if somebody with them gets concerned and calls, or somebody thinks that they can just handle it themselves. But they have gone up a little. And our volume over the past 10 days has been extremely high. Drink plenty of water, Gatorade, and don't stay out in the heat too long. Thank you.
Thank you. Fire and Rescue. Chief Farley. Hello.
Me. For the month of June, we ran 679 calls, 4 structure fires, but they were not residential homes. They were just outbuildings. We ran 356 medical calls. And if you notice down, Commissioner James, if you'll notice down at number 74, the unintentional system detector operation that concerns you, about the majority of those was Brown's Chapel School. And we, here a while back, we had the same problem with when they built the Rockville High School. And there for a little while, it was the Rockville Elementary School. We were up there every day. Of course, when you roll up there, it's not too bad in the summertime, but when you roll up in the wintertime, the school's full, then they have to unload the whole school, and we have to go in there and search, and usually it's a detector malfunction. So that's where you would ask where a lot of these unintentional systems detectors going off. A lot of them are schools. And I don't know what's going on at Brown Chapel, but I know we've been there just about every day for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it's just the unintentional consequences of when it goes off, we have to be there. Year to date, we've run 4,180 calls. 2,199 of those were medical calls, and 160 motor vehicle accidents with injuries, and then 234 without injuries. Year to date, the total call volume for the county, including the volunteer departments, were 4,617 calls. 547 year to date now, 547 MVAs and 11 extrications, 54 structure fires. And if you look at the next page, thank goodness there was no structure fires of residential homes this last month. And that's the first time I remember that happening, I guess, since I've been doing this job for 17 years, which that's a good thing. It means somebody's house didn't burn. The next report is our fire marshal's investigation and report and the outcome on those. And then we had 8 alarm installations for the month of June. And the fourth page is the illegal burns that we responded to and dealt with. And that concludes my report.
Any questions on the report?
Chief, question that you brought up on the schools just kind of stir a thought in my mind, wondering, do y'all go through over the summer and go through each of the detections in the schools to kind of help alleviate that scenario you just described?
No, because the county maintenance, Mike Walls is over there. They do all that in the summertime. We did, our fire marshal's office just did inspect, I can't remember the name of it, Athletic School in Smyrna, on Baker Road, I think, or somewhere out there. They have gone through, they spent a whole day going through checking every alarm in every room and every detector in every room, because they were on a side channel, listened to them, they checked out the whole school, made sure it passed code on that. But the Mike Walls is over maintenance of the schools. He does a great job of keeping all those things.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys would go through the schools or if maintenance would do
Not
that.
unless it's suspected as an emergency call.
What'd you say?
Green light, I do now, okay. I know you have the fire alarm program. Do you do anything or any kind of program with fire extinguishers?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay.
There's several places in Murfreesboro you can buy those, and of all different sizes. But most of that is grant money through the state. They provide those smoke detectors to us for free of charge. So when somebody calls and said they need detectors, we have to actually go out and we mount them to the wall ourselves and make sure they're mounted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, your report has been approved.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sheriff, office report. Chief Spence.
Good evening. This morning, our population, the enemy population, was 984. This afternoon, 961. Update on our openings. Communications has 5 openings. Detention has 14. Patrol has 3 openings, and SROs has 1 opening. That's the end of my report.
You have the report. Questions, comments, or a motion?
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
is that like 30-ish decrease? You said it's 961 from
984.
984 to 961.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's like 23.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what happened to them. They just released or completed their...
Yes, ma'am. Good question. Last Friday, we took 80 inmates to the state at Bledsoe County, so they took 80 off our hands.
Gotcha. So it just takes them to wherever else they need to be, not necessarily that they've completed their sentence
Yes, ma'am, they were sentenced with the state, so they went to the,
to the state.
yes, ma'am.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman?
Steve, if you would, 54210-399, other contracted services, we've spent almost all of our money there. Which service is that?
Is,
399?
is it on detention side or the jail side? Man, the good sheriff's office side.
It's the sheriff, I believe.
It's going to be encumbered. It's not spent yet. We did POs. That's Dr. Rudd for his medical contracts.
Okay, thank you.
That's your medical doctor, right?
Sir?
You said Dr. Rudd, is that the medical doctor?
Yeah, Dr. Rudd for medical.
You have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Report has been approved.
We had requesting to apply for the State of Tennessee Violent Crime Intervention Grant. This is a no-match grant. If approved, we're requesting the mayor to be able to accept and sign for the grant.
Request for a grant.
Quick question. Just, maybe I've never seen it. It says approve, we requested the mayor be able to sign for this. Is it something new or has it been in there?
Whenever we have a grant that's no match,
No match.
the mayor's able to sign this, as long as it's approved by y'all.
Thank you.
Is there an amount?
It's based on a formula of population. 3 years ago, it was 640,000. We haven't been told how much it's going to
Be
be,
about that same amount.
roughly.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. With this violent crime intervention grant, what would the funds be used for exactly?
A NIVIN system which we can identify shell casings from crime scenes to identify a criminal. And then the other part would be for license plate readers to help us identify criminal activity and help solve crimes in the county.
And you said it's about $640,000?
That's what it was 3 years ago. It's based on the population, the formula.
Okay, and so 3 years ago, so this is something you've applied for before, and here it is 3 years later, you're applying again?
Yes, ma'am.
So is it just a 3-year run on the grant?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how it
Yes.
works?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're not doing both of these at the same time, we're doing one at a time, correct?
Right. There's
Okay.
there's two of them.
Okay, because I heard a question about schools, so I was just curious. Okay, thank you.
And I have a quick follow-up question. On the LPRs, do you all have y'all separate or do you collaborate with the city, the municipality?
We will, if we get the license plate readers, we can work with the cities. Right now, we do work with the cities. If we need some information, we do a request through them and they give us their active crime center.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have the motion and a second.
You need a motion, or do we already have a motion?
We already have it.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Already have it. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Sereno,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner James. Yes. Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, sir.
We're requesting to apply for the State of Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security School Resource Officers Grant. This grant runs from July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2026. This is a no-match grant. We're applying for $3,825,000, which comes out to $75,000 per school. If approved, we request that the mayor be able to accept and sign for the grant.
You've heard a request for the grant.
So, is this for additional SROs?
No, ma'am.
Or what are these funds going to be used for exactly in this resource officer grant?
This substitutes the salaries for one SRO per school.
So the grant will cover one SRO salary?
It won't cover them completely because some of our SROs make more, most of them make more than $75,000 a year, counting the benefits.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherino,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Motion passes.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
thank you.
Mr. Spence, sorry.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions real fast. One, on grants like this, no match, I know Mayor signs it, but could you also let us know when they come back that it's been approved with how much, or if we got the full amount, so we kind of have working knowledge as it's going?
Yes, sir. We have to come back and ask permission to accept the money if we're approved to apply for it.
No, I'm talking about when the mayor signs it without it. My understanding is this one, unless I just got that backwards in the moment.
Yeah, if it's approved to apply and then we get approved for the money, then when the
That's what I'm
contract-
thinking. I'm missing a step there.
Yes.
The other question I wanted to ask you is if you could look into, somebody mentioned to me earlier about, and I'd like to get more pros and cons about the statute 287G. Are you
Yes.
familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see what it would, the ups and downs on whether or not our county should jump on with some of the other counties of Tennessee on looking into that program or not.
Yes.
And if you could just kind of play with that and get back to me reasonable time, maybe next month or even further, whatever time you need to digest it and figure out.
Yes, sir. I'll get back with you.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. PAWS. Michael Gregory.
Good evening. For the month of June, we had 383 animals come into the shelter. Our live release rate was 86.5% for dogs, 91.6% for cats, and when wildlife were included, it was 88.5%. 177 animals went through our public surgery programs. 37 cats went through our TNR programs. We had 1,252 calls completed out by our officers for the month. They traveled 7,844 miles. To close out our fiscal year for 2024 and 2025, we had a live release rate of 91.3% of the 4,586 animals that came into the shelter. Our officers completed out 13,596 calls, traveling a little over 90,000 miles. Our rabies exposure and bite report, that does go by calendar year versus fiscal year. For the month of June, we had 48 bites reported. 4 of those were sent for testing. They came back negative as far as bites. We had 14 other exposures. 3 of those were sent for testing. 2 of those did come back positive or unsatisfactory. Both of those were skunks that were killed by citizens' animals. And the unsatisfactory is considered a positive result. And then the last page of the report is just the graph that I give you all so you can see the visual of the outcomes for our animals. And that is a report, sir. I do have a budget amendment after that.
You've heard the report. Wait.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? I believe you have a budget amendment?
Yes, sir. The first part of this amendment is taking money that we have received for grants in last fiscal year. We knew we weren't going to be able to spend it all before June 30th, so we just waited and are going to start fresh this year. So we're asking to take $36,000 that have been received from grants and taking $15,000 from the PAWS donation line to do several projects. One of the projects is one of the projects is for adoption events through the ASPCA. There's $25,000 there for building improvements. $10,000 of that is from the grant. $15,000 is from the donation line. That is to put an aluminum type carport cover over one of our existing artificial turf play yards. With the heat that we've been experiencing, we can't use those. The temperature has been up to 140, 150 out there, so we want to get that shaded so we can get those back in use. $5,000 is for veterinary services, which is through a grant for emergency vet vouchers for our citizens, and $1,000 to go for through a grant for a free rabies vaccine day for 200 rabies vaccines for citizens in our county. The second part of the amendment is recognizing $1,500 from the state of Tennessee, and that's the animal friendly grant that we get every year that is used for low-cost spay and neuter services.
You have a copy of the grant, and you've heard the explanation. Questions or a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Any other questions or comments? Please call the roll.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sereno,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver. Chairman Reed.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Item 12, OSHA. Stay at Elam. Commissioner Oliver, we're going to get you a megaphone, or you can.
Good evening, Commissioners. Ed Elam, Insurance and Risk Management Director. For the month of June, the incident frequency, you'll see there are 8. Board of Ed had 6. Rutherford County had 2. Highway had 0. Of the Rutherford County government, 2 of them were with the Sheriff's Department. Incident frequency for the calendar year to date, 97. OSHA log summary recordables, 66. Lost day claims, 14. Restricted day claims, 40. Other recordables, 12. In the reserves, you have for the month, 9,434. Year to date, 398,089. Year to date paid, $120,195. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioners, you have a copy of the report, and you have heard the explanation. Any questions or comments?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve. Do I have a second? Any further comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It has been approved. Thank you, sir. Recovery Court. Shell Ricks. Last, but with a good report, I'm sure.
It's great. Good evening. Our current population at Recovery Court for the month of June, we had 170 participants, 10 completions, and 1 termination. Currently in our DUI program, we have 15 in our day and 32 in the night program and 13 applications pending. In our Veterans Court, we have 24 current participants with 10 applications pending. In our Mental Health Court, we have 54 current participants with 9 applications pending. And in our Drug Court, we have 53 current participants with 33 applications pending. And that concludes my report.
You've heard the report. Any questions or comments? Over here?
Yes.
There you go.
Good evening. I do have a quick question. When you look at the reasons for ineligibility for the program,
yes,
I see here you have criminal history. So they have to have had nothing in their criminal history, or are there certain things? Because that's like 8 of those that are ineligible due to criminal history.
No, all of our clients are high-risk, high-need, which means that they have some sort of criminal background.
That's what I thought.
But per the state of Tennessee's code, they can't have, for our drug court specific and our mental health court now, they cannot have any domestic or violent charges.
I understand. Thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion? A motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Your report has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. In other business, I want to mention something to you. We've had problems tonight, and you all know it with our sound system, but you have to understand, you're in an 1859 building that we have tried to put 21st century technology in without wires. And it's operating by Wi-Fi. And you've got to understand that they have to have time to make sure it all works. And the only way they can make it work is to have us in here and seeing the problems. And I'm sure over a period of time, it's going to be really good and real fine. Mine works fine because they hadn't changed it. But these will be the answer when we get all the Wi-Fi, I'm sure, straightened. I got in here this morning at a little before 8, and they were in here testing every mic and trying to get it to work. They knew there was dropout. They knew there were problems. Some of the Wi-Fi could actually be for the fact of the heat and the temperature we got going. If you have Wi-Fi in your home, you understand at times that it can drop. I have Xfinity, and I tell you, there are times that I'll be on the computer, you just don't know sometimes. So I want you to have understanding with our AI department up here and what they're trying to do, and try to get this right, because they have spent a lot of time at this, and like I said, they're here early in the morning trying to make it work for us, and let's have some understanding for them. Like I said, it's sort of like when I go to the doctor, he's trying to make an old model work here, and trying to keep it going. So I know we've had some fun with it tonight, and I appreciate Commissioner Oliver's humor that I can sort of aggravate her a little bit down there, and I appreciate that. Any other business?
Mr. Chairman, so you're saying instead of saying, hey, because this is now the second time I've been able to use this system, instead of sitting here and saying, hey, it works 50% of the time, I should say, hey, it works 50% of the time. No, it's a learning curve, being patient with it as we work out the kinks. I had a real question and wanting to seek advice from the chairman and some others in the committee. We've been getting calls and seeing some back and forth emails, understanding the pay scales and the adjustments and looking at that. And I'm wondering if, I know she's out of town this week, but if we shouldn't look like, let me rephrase. I'm intending on sitting down with Sonia Stevens in HR to understand a little bit more of the breakdown that she was discussing and so forth. And I'm wondering if all of us shouldn't do a little bit more of that with her, and at the same time, maybe next month, invite her to come kind of break some of it down so we get more public knowledge of these steps and the what we just approved in the budget and what they should realistically be looking at, how to get that better knowledge better out there so that everybody's on the same page and we can hopefully settle some of the temperature.
And you're out. Okay. Anything else? If not, we're adjourned. And I finally get